Some people cry loudly, but the deepest pain is often carried in silence. And the people who hide their pain are not weak. They are usually the ones fighting the hardest battles nobody notices. There's a certain kind of exhaustion that doesn't show on your face. You wake up, you answer messages, you smile when people expect you to smile. You continue working, you continue helping others, you continue pretending that everything inside you is normal. But somewhere deep within you, something feels broken. And the strange part is, nobody knows, because you became too skilled at hiding it. You learned early that the world becomes uncomfortable around honest pain. So instead of expressing it, you swallowed it. You mastered the art of saying, "I'm fine," while your soul quietly collapsed behind your eyes. People think strength looks loud. They think strong people are fearless, emotionless, unaffected. But history tells a different story. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "What is essential in war is victory, not prolonged operations." And many people unknowingly turn their inner suffering into a prolonged war, silently fighting themselves every single day. Some wounds don't bleed outwardly. They bleed internally through overthinking, emotional numbness, isolation, sleepless nights, and the terrifying feeling that nobody would truly understand even if you explained it. Maybe you became the strong one in your family. Maybe life forced you to mature too early. Maybe betrayal taught you that vulnerability can be dangerous. Or maybe you simply got tired of explaining your pain to people who only listened halfway. So you adapted. You carried the burden quietly. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Hiding your pain is not weakness. Sometimes it is survival. The real danger begins when survival becomes your identity, because eventually the mask starts becoming heavier than the pain itself. And in this video, we're going to uncover the hidden psychological truth behind silent suffering, why emotionally strong people often hide the most pain, and how unspoken wounds slowly reshape your personality, your relationships, and your entire view of life. By the end of this journey, you may finally understand yourself in a way nobody has ever explained before. Part 1. The world taught you to hide it. You were not born hiding your emotions. As a child, you expressed everything naturally. You cried when something hurt. You reached for comfort when you felt afraid. You spoke honestly when you felt sadness. But somewhere along the way, the world started teaching you silence. Maybe you were told things like, "Stop crying. Be strong. Others have it worse. You're too sensitive." And slowly, without realizing it, your mind began forming a dangerous belief. My pain is a burden. This is where silent suffering begins. Not because people are weak, but because they learned that vulnerability often leads to rejection, judgment, or abandonment. The psychologist Carl Jung believed that the parts of ourselves we suppress do not disappear. They simply move into the shadows of the unconscious mind. And over time, those shadows begin controlling us silently. That's why some people laugh the loudest while secretly feeling empty. That's why some people become helpers, fixers, or caretakers. Because caring for others distracts them from their own wounds. Pain hidden long enough transforms into performance. You stop expressing yourself authentically and begin becoming the version of yourself that feels acceptable to everyone else. And the terrifying part is, people reward you for it. They praise you for being mature. They admire how calm you seem under pressure. They depend on you because you never break down publicly. But inside, you feel emotionally homeless because nobody truly knows you. You've shown them your usefulness, but not your suffering. There are people right now walking through life with shattered hearts while still replying politely to texts, still showing up to work, still smiling in photos. Modern society romanticizes emotional suppression, especially for men, but increasingly for everyone. People are taught that productivity matters more than emotional truth. So instead of healing, People distract themselves endlessly, scrolling, working, entertaining themselves, staying busy enough to avoid hearing their own thoughts. But pain buried alive never stays buried. It leaks out in other ways, in anger, in emotional numbness, in anxiety, in sudden emotional exhaustion, in relationships where you push people away the moment they get too close. Because deep down, a part of you still fears what vulnerability once cost you. The philosopher Lao Tzu once wrote, "Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner." And many people became emotional prisoners long ago. Prisoners of appearing strong, prisoners of appearing okay, prisoners of carrying pain silently because they no longer know how to ask for help. But here is the truth. Your emotions were never the problem. The environments that punished your honesty were the problem. And once you finally understand this, something begins changing inside you. Because for the first time, you stop seeing yourself as weak for hurting. You start realizing you were adapting to survive. And survival often looks silent. Part 2. When pain becomes your personality. At first, hiding your pain feels temporary. You tell yourself, "I just need to get through this. I'll deal with it later. I don't want to burden anyone." But pain that is postponed does not disappear. It settles into your identity. And eventually, you no longer carry the pain. The pain begins carrying you. You become quieter than you used to be, more distant, more guarded, more emotionally tired. Not because you hate people, but because every interaction feels exhausting when your inner world is already heavy. This is why many deeply wounded people become emotionally unavailable without intending to. They still crave love. They still crave understanding. But somewhere deep inside, they stopped believing that emotional safety truly exists. So they build invisible armor. Some become hyper-independent. They refuse help even when they desperately need it. They refuse help even when they desperately need it. They convince themselves they can handle everything alone because depending on others once led to disappointment. Others become emotionally numb, not because they feel nothing, but because they feel too much. The human mind has a survival mechanism. When emotions become overwhelming for too long, the nervous system begins shutting down sensitivity itself. You stop reacting the same way. Joy becomes muted. Excitement fades. Even love can start feeling distant, and that numbness can become terrifying. Because one day you wake up and realize you haven't truly felt alive in a very long time. The philosopher Albert Camus once explored the absurdity of human suffering, the strange loneliness of carrying invisible pain while the world continues moving normally around you. And that's exactly how hidden pain feels, like standing in the middle of a crowded room while emotionally drowning in silence. Nobody notices because you've mastered functioning while broken. You still complete responsibilities. You still show up. You still say, "I'm okay." But internally, you are surviving, not living. This is also why some people become addicted to distraction. Constant noise feels safer than silence, because silence forces you to confront the emotions you've spent years escaping. Some people binge entertainment. Some overwork. Some obsess over relationships. Some isolate themselves completely. Different coping mechanisms, same underlying wound, avoidance. And avoidance has a hidden cost. The longer you suppress pain, the more disconnected you become from yourself. You stop asking what you truly feel. You stop asking what you truly need. You stop recognizing your own emotional voice. Eventually, you become a stranger to yourself. And perhaps the saddest part, people around you may believe you are strong, precisely because they never see your suffering. But strength is not emotional suppression. Real strength is facing your pain honestly without letting it destroy your humanity. That is far harder than pretending everything is fine, because masks may protect you temporarily, but they also prevent genuine connection. No one can truly love a version of you they never actually meet. And maybe that's why hidden pain hurts so deeply. Not because nobody cares, but because you became too afraid to let yourself be seen. Part 3. The loneliness of being the strong one. There is a unique kind of loneliness that comes from always being the strong one, the reliable one, the calm one, the emotionally stable one. People come to you with their problems because you know how to listen, you know how to comfort them, you know how to carry emotional weight without collapsing publicly. But what nobody realizes is that strong people become exhausted too. And sometimes the reason you became emotionally strong wasn't because life was kind to you. It was because life gave you no other choice. Some people were forced to mature too early. They became emotional adults while still children. Maybe chaos surrounded your home. Maybe nobody protected you emotionally. Maybe you learned that your feelings would always come second to everyone else's needs. So you adapted by becoming emotionally self-sufficient. You stopped expecting comfort. You stopped asking for help. You became the person who survives quietly, but survival has consequences. Because when people constantly see you as strong, they stop checking if you're hurting. And after years of carrying everyone else emotionally, you begin asking yourself a painful question: who carries me? This is why many emotionally strong people secretly feel invisible. Not physically invisible, emotionally invisible. People admire their strength while completely missing the pain underneath it. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about enduring suffering with dignity, but even Stoicism was never meant to mean emotional denial. True Stoicism meant understanding pain, not pretending it didn't exist. Unfortunately, modern culture misunderstands strength. It glorifies emotional suppression. People applaud those who never complain while ignoring the emotional cost of carrying everything alone. But humans were never designed to carry endless emotional weight in isolation. Even the strongest minds fracture under prolonged loneliness, and hidden pain creates a strange contradiction. You desperately want someone to understand you, yet you instinctively hide the very parts that need understanding most. Because deep down, you fear becoming too much, too emotional, too damaged, too vulnerable. So instead you say things like, "I'm just tired. It's nothing. I'll be okay." While internally, your soul feels exhausted from years of silent battles. Sometimes you don't even know how to explain the pain anymore because it has existed for so long that it feels woven into your personality itself. And this is where many people break emotionally. Not during tragedy, but during ordinary moments. A random night, a quiet drive home, a song that suddenly hits too deeply. A simple question like, "Are you really okay?" Because suppressed emotions do not vanish, they wait. The psychologist Carl Rogers once said, "What is most personal is most universal," meaning the pain you hide most deeply is often the very pain millions of others silently carry too. And maybe that changes something. Maybe you are not weak for struggling silently. Maybe you are human. Maybe the tears you hold back every day are not signs of failure, but signs that your mind and heart have been carrying more than they were ever meant to carry alone. Because even mountains erode under constant pressure, and no human being can endlessly survive by pretending they do not need emotional connection. Eventually, the soul begins begging for honesty, not perfection, not performance, just honesty. Part 4. Healing begins when you stop performing strength. There comes a moment in life when exhaustion changes you. Not physical exhaustion, soul exhaustion. The kind that comes from carrying hidden pain for years while pretending you're okay. And eventually something inside you begins whispering, "I can't keep living like this." That whisper is important because healing rarely begins with confidence. It begins with honesty. For years, you may have believed that strength meant enduring everything silently. But real emotional maturity is not about suppressing pain until it destroys you internally. Real strength is having the courage to face your wounds without shame, and that is terrifying. Because once you stop performing strength, you risk being seen, truly seen, not as the capable version everyone depends on, not as the smiling version people are comfortable with, but as the tired human being underneath it all. And many people avoid healing because vulnerability feels unsafe. The mind remembers every betrayal, every dismissal, every moment your emotions were ignored. So naturally, you became guarded. But healing requires something difficult. Not trusting everyone, but learning to stop abandoning yourself. That changes everything. Because many people think healing means becoming emotionless or permanently happy. It doesn't. Healing means your pain no longer controls your identity. It means you stop defining yourself by what hurt you. The philosopher Buddha taught that suffering becomes worse when we cling to it or resist it endlessly. And many people unknowingly spend years fighting their emotions instead of understanding them. Pain is not your enemy. Unprocessed pain is. There's a difference. One teaches you, the other slowly consumes you. And perhaps the biggest transformation happens when you finally allow yourself to admit, yes, I've been hurting. Not dramatically, not for attention, just truthfully, because hidden pain loses power the moment it is acknowledged honestly. And strangely enough, the people who heal the deepest are often not the loudest people. They are the ones who quietly decide, I deserve peace too. That decision changes your entire life. You begin setting boundaries instead of endlessly sacrificing yourself. You stop apologizing for having emotions. You stop glorifying emotional suffering as proof of strength. And slowly, you reconnect with yourself again. Not the survival version of yourself, the real you. The version that existed before pain convinced you that you had to become emotionally untouchable to survive this world. The truth is, human beings are not machines. You were never meant to carry endless emotional weight alone. Even nature understands this. Storms release rain, volcanoes release pressure, the ocean crashes against the shore instead of holding everything inside forever. Only humans are taught to imprison their emotions and call it strength. But your pain does not make you weak. Your tears do not make you weak. Your emotional exhaustion does not make you weak. Sometimes the strongest people are simply the ones who kept surviving, despite carrying invisible battles nobody ever noticed. And if this video resonates with you, maybe this is your sign to stop punishing yourself for being human. Maybe your healing begins the moment you stop asking, how do I hide this pain better? And start asking, how do I finally heal it? Because your life was never meant to be a performance of strength. It was meant to be lived honestly. And perhaps the real truth is this: the people who hide their pain are not weak at all. They are often the people who have been strong for far too long. So tonight, when the world becomes quiet, ask yourself one question. How much of your life has been spent surviving instead of truly living? And if somewhere deep inside you feel tired from carrying invisible pain alone, know this: you do not have to earn the right to feel. You do not have to become emotionless to be respected. And you do not have to keep pretending you're okay just to make others comfortable. Sometimes healing begins with one simple act: telling yourself the truth. Not the polished version, not the socially acceptable version, the real truth. Because once you stop hiding from your pain, you finally give yourself a chance to become free from it. And maybe that is the bravest thing a human being can ever do.